Placement is down. Koo's kick is up. And the kick is up, and it is no good! No good! Younghoe Koo misses only his second field goal attempt of the season. And the Chiefs have a 17-14 lead with 9 seconds left.
What a crazy finish on Sunday as the Chiefs escaped with the victory and locked up the top seed in the AFC playoffs. Hey everybody, and welcome into The Breakdown. My name is Matt McMullen, and this week we're talking all about the Chiefs' win over Atlanta at Arrowhead Stadium on Sunday that moved Kansas City to a franchise best 14-1 on the year. There's plenty to talk about here, from Travis Kelce setting an NFL record to a young player stepping up on defense in a big way. But first, as always, let's hear from Coach Reed.
Really, the two injuries are Ben Neiman has a right hamstring strain, and Sammy Watkins has a calf strain. So, listen, I'm proud of the guys, man. 14-1 is nothing to shake your head at. I thought we did a good job in the red zone for the most part. There's one we'd like to have back, but for the most part, we did okay. There's situational football with a 2-minute drive at the end, the big sack before the field goal. With 55 and 95, and they were in there quite a little bit throughout the day. On the pass rush, the young linebackers, the finish of the game, were flying around and making plays. Snead, another young guy, flying around and making plays. And then when it's all said and done, you've got a bye week and coming up after our next game. So. And that's there are only 2 teams that will have that this year, one on each, one in the AFC and NFC. So that becomes important. We can use that as a healing time and get ourselves back healthy and ready to roll. So and with that, we'll get ourselves ready this next week to play against a good Chargers football team.
Coach also mentioned that no decisions have been made in terms of resting players next week, so we'll monitor that moving forward. But gutsy, tough victory on Sunday, and here we are, 15 games into the season, and the Chiefs are 14-1. In fact, they're just now the 8th team since 1978 to win 14 games the year after winning a Super Bowl. Very impressive stuff from this team, and while they're not always pretty, a win is a win. All right, let's start from the beginning. This was a defensive struggle throughout much of the game, particularly the first half. In fact, neither team scored until Falcons quarterback Matt Ryan found Hayden Hurst for a 5-yard touchdown with 3 minutes left in the second quarter. Luckily, the Chiefs then got on the board on their next series as Patrick Mahomes led a 12-play, 78-yard drive just before halftime that ended with a 4-yard touchdown strike to Travis Kelce.
Mahomes fires it for the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown! Kansas City! Travis Kelce blanketed by the Falcons. It didn't matter. Zeus gets 6 for the Chiefs and badly needed at a half minute to go in the second quarter.
That marked Kelce's 11th touchdown this season, setting a career high, and it had this thing all tied up at 7 points apiece. Here's what Kelce saw on that play.
Yeah, I mean, when it was called, I believe the clock was kind of ticking down on us, so Pat spit it out real quick. I think Sammy might have missed a few things on it, but as he motioned over, we figured it out, and sure enough, Pat was right on time with the throw, and I was able to, just barely get across the goal line, but that's all you need.
It then looked like the Chiefs were going to take the lead a drive later as they opened the second half by driving right down the field, but the Falcons picked off Mahomes deep in Atlanta territory. It might have been a pick six too, but Tyreek Hill showed off his blazing speed and hustled all the way down the field to bring down the ball carrier. Here's what Patrick Mahomes had to say about Hill's effort on that play that might have saved a touchdown and, at the very least, a bigger gain.
Yeah, I mean, that's the heart and the championship swagger. I'll say it again 2 times in one interview, but that you need on a team. I mean, the fact that him battling through injury already, to be out there during that game and then to make that play, I whiffed on a tackle during that drive, during that little pick. For him to follow the ball and play, I mean, you have to have those type of guys on your team if you want to win football games.
Now, for most teams, a play like that would snowball into a score. It's just the natural momentum of the game, but that's what I love about this team. Each phase always seems to pick each other up, and we saw that from this defense right away. They sacked Matt Ryan on back-to-back snaps following the interception, including this one by Chris Jones.
Ryan again under pressure, scrambles, he's hit again. As the Chiefs trying to knock it out this time, Chris Jones got him. And Sack Nation and the Shark team up for back-to-back sacks. and a loss of 3. That's 12 yards lost by the Falcons on 2 consecutive plays.
This was the theme for much of the third quarter. The offense couldn't get much going, but the defense refused to allow Atlanta to take advantage. In fact, as the third quarter came to a close, the Chiefs already had 4 sacks and 8 quarterback hits on Matt Ryan. Jones, in particular, had 3 quarterback hits all by himself. The offense, meanwhile, finally broke the tie when Harrison Butker connected on a 53-yard field goal to put the Chiefs in front early in the fourth quarter. Atlanta looked poised to respond on their next series, driving just outside the Chiefs' red zone, but Willie Gay punched the ball free from Falcons receiver Brandon Powell, and Darius Harris was right there to pick it up.
And the tackle made, the ball comes out. The ball's picked up by Kansas City. It's picked up by Darius Harris. They're going to give the ball to Kansas City. They said the hit was made on Brandon Powell, and Darius Harris gets the Chiefs' first takeaway of this game.
Pretty cool seeing 2 young guys team up to take the ball away there, and it meant that once again, this defense held Atlanta off the scoreboard to preserve the Chiefs' lead. I asked Willie about that play post-game and if he knew he had forced that fumble initially.
Well, man, no, I didn't realize it at first, and when I hit him, I just rolled off to the side, and I looked back and I saw Darius Harris scoop it up, and I was like, oh, this is a pretty big play, and I was hoping he was gonna score, but I was joking with him. He ain't the fastest guy in the room, so it's all good.
Love that effort from these young guys on defense, especially with Anthony Hitchens, Damian Wilson, and Ben Neiman each missing either all or part of this game. The offense couldn't turn the takeaway into points, though, and just a drive later, Atlanta had the lead when Ryan found Laquan Treadwell for a 5-yard score with just over 4 minutes left in the game. This was gut check time. The offense had struggled to move the ball all day, and now there wasn't any room for error. Rather than panic, though, right on cue, the guys stepped up. Mahomes found Kelce for a big gain on 3rd down, and then again for another big gain a bit later, and after a potential interception bounced away from the Falcons defender in the end zone, Mahomes came up firing on the very next snap to find Demarcus Robinson for a 25-yard go-ahead score.
Kaiser in the block, now he releases. Mahomes throws for the end zone, the pass caught, wide open, touchdown! Kansas City, Demarcus Robinson on a deep post. And finally, Mahomes releases deep, had a shot, he took it, and the Chiefs regained the lead at 16-14 on a 25-yard deep post to Demarcus Robinson.
You just knew the Chiefs were going to find a way. We've watched this team too many times and seen them routinely come up in the clutch far too often to imagine any scenario where they don't score there. It says so much about this team that they've been able to build that reputation, and once again, they had the lead late despite the momentum stacked against them previously. Mahomes walked us through that touchdown pass post-game and how good it felt to find the end zone after struggling through much of the game.
Yeah, it felt great. I mean, D-Rob ran a heck of a route. Tyreek took the safety out from the middle of the field, and D-Rob was one-on-one on the island and ran a little triple move and was able to get himself open. The offensive line gave me time, and then I just fired it and let him make a play on it. And, when you execute like that, and I go through the reads the right way, we're a hard offense to stop. And so I got to make sure that we get back to that, and then I'm excited for the next few weeks ahead and being able to go out there and execute at a higher level.
Big score there to put the Chiefs in front, and despite the offensive struggles throughout the game, Kansas City had the lead. It wasn't over, though, setting up the game's final theatrics. Atlanta drove down inside the Chiefs' 25-yard line with just seconds remaining, positioning Falcons kicker Younghoe Koo for a 39-yard, potentially game-tying field goal. Koo came into Sunday's game with the most made field goals in the NFL. He hadn't missed since Week 3. But despite all that, his kick sailed wide right and the Chiefs had the victory. Wild, crazy finish to a heart-thumping game, but all that matters in the end is that the Chiefs found a way. And now sitting at 14-1 on the year, the road to the Super Bowl once again goes through Kansas City. All right, let's dive into my 3 stats to know from this game. My first stat is 1,434. That's how many receiving yards Travis Kelce has this year, setting an NFL record for receiving yards in a single season by a tight end. You might remember that he briefly had this record back in 2018 before George Kittle broke it, but now 2 years later, it belongs to Kelce once again. My second stat is 100. In addition to his yardage record, Travis Kelce made some more history on Sunday by tallying his second career season with at least 100 catches. He's the only tight end in NFL history to have multiple 100-catch seasons. The guy is redefining the position before our eyes, but when asked about all this post-game, he said there's only one record he cares about at the moment.
It's cool to be a part of, and the real record I'm proud of right now is that it's the first time the Chiefs have ever been 14-1, and we're going to try and make it 15-1 next week. I really don't get caught up in the personal accolades. I work my tail off to just try and be the best teammate and the best player I can be for this organization, on and off the field. And getting recognized like that is it's awesome, because my teammates, my coaches, the people in this building are proud of me in that regard. And heck, it can make my family extremely happy, give them something they can talk smack to the person next to them. But at the end of the day, it's just there's always more to accomplish in a team game.
Doesn't get more humble than Travis Kelce. Patrick Mahomes also spoke about Kelce postgame.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a quality that we have on a lot of guys on this team, and it's that no matter how talented and how much success the guys have on this team, they just want to win, and they want to win for the guys next to them. And if you see a guy like Travis, I mean, he's a guy that, I mean, he's done it for a long time. He's been at the top of the game. He's been able to do TV shows and do all these different things. He's a well-known guy, but he works his tail off every single day, and he's practicing every single day, and he's making sure he's prepared for these moments. And for a guy to have that much talent, work that hard, and be able to really learn every single day like that's what makes him so special on the field.
Lastly, my final stat is 12. The Chiefs registered 12 quarterback hits on Matt Ryan in this game, consistently disrupting the Falcons' passing attack. While the offense struggled through much of the game, it was the defense making sure that Atlanta couldn't take advantage. That allowed the Chiefs to hang around all game long, and in the end, the offense figured things out late to take the lead. It wasn't the prettiest of games by any means, and I can guarantee you a lot of the guys would like plenty of those plays back, but the bottom line is the Chiefs won again, for the 14th time as a matter of fact, after staying the course and simply finding a way. It demonstrates a certain mental toughness that defines this group. Coach Reid spoke about that post-game.
Yeah, well, listen, I appreciate that. When I say I appreciate the effort, I mean, winning in this league is tough. You see it every week, and you see teams go through these peaks and valleys, and to be able to just consistently push through, everyone's not going to be the prettiest one that you've had. But the bottom line is you got to keep battling. And if you don't battle, you can't do anything, right? So there's no way you're going to survive in this. And so the mental toughness is a part that I respect, and I understand the demands when you won the championship, and that was our first time doing it. That you can say all you want. You can come out and say, hey, you're going to be everybody's big game. But until you experience it and find the demands on continuing to bring the product out and working your game, then words don't explain it. So, but these guys our guys are tough. They're mentally tough. And to put together what they have to this point, my hat goes off to them, man. I appreciate the effort. And I get to see it every day, and they battle through. And that's going to help us down the road.
Ever since the parade, we've talked about running it back. Well, guess what, everybody? It's here. The playoffs are just a few weeks away, and once again, the road to the Super Bowl runs through Arrowhead Stadium. So let's go take it. That's all for this one, everybody. Thanks so much for listening, as always. Until next time, this is Matt McMullen, signing off.